What is up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. It's been a crazy long time since I've released a video. It's been really hot and I honestly haven't wanted to be out in the shop working. Also, somebody broke my garage door and it's been really hard for me to get projects in and out of the shop. But for the last couple of weeks we've been working on designing my own bottle opener, and I finally got a design that I'm happy with and I like how it looks and everything like that. So today we're going to go back through and get the plasma cutter to stop beveling the cuts again, which means I need to re-square up the Z-axis. It came loose again, and I've had quite a few issues with this. The set screws and everything that sets all the adjustments for the table back off over time, and I think I did this probably 2 or 3 months ago, so I mean it's really not that bad, but it does come loose every now and then. And if you have one of these tables and you've found a solution for this, drop it down in the comments, let me know what you've done. But this is how I do it. I'll take you over here. So I've gone ahead and removed all the slats. Most of these have wear in them. Some of my tables evaporated off the water out of it, so I'll have to refill that at some point, but it'll be fine for now. But anyway, I've removed most of the slats out of the center of the table here where they've been cut or different, and then I put in the two that have not had any plasma cut through them, so they're about as straight as you're gonna get with one of these tables. And then this is a nice big chunk of 1/2-inch plate steel that I just set in the center of the table. And then we'll pull the torch out, the guard out, and all that stuff off, and then we'll bring it over to the center of this plate and we'll just start squaring everything back up, get it all adjusted. I'm going to recheck the adjustments on both the carriage rollers and everything as well. As you can see, this one's wearing a little bit heavier than the other ones, and I'm going to see if I can help that out a little bit too. So we're going to get after it and just see where we get. And I'm just rechecking the level as the shop shifts and everything, making sure the table's still sitting nice and flat. It shifted a little bit on that other side, just a tiny bit, but not enough where I'm worried. Let's see my carriage here. Still sitting nice and level too, so that's looking good. So we're gonna go ahead and get this all squared up and adjust those real quick, throw you on a time lapse, and we'll get after it. I'll show you guys what I mean when it gets loose. See, I don't know if you'll be able to see in the video, but it's flexing this way and this way. And if this isn't perfectly square to the table, it doesn't take much and your cuts will come out beveled a lot more than they should, especially when you're cutting on a curve. As it's traveling at 2 axes, this seems to flex in 2 different directions, and you'll get a really bad bevel on a curve, and then straights won't be too bad. But this is the only way I've really found to get it most of the way out. Obviously, since I don't have a machine torch, I'll never get it perfectly out because I don't have a perfectly straight angle and a double mount, so I can't 100% guarantee that my torch in the hand holder is perfectly square to the metal either. But it usually gets pretty close, and most of the bevel comes out of it with readjusting this, so that's what I'm going to do. Guys, just to go over what I just did, if you've owned one of these tables, I'm sure you've done it a couple times. I released or backed off all the adjusters for the ball bearings. Basically, they're just on an eccentric shaft, and you change the position to tighten on the tube. And so I wanted to set my access this way first, so I backed everything back off, adjusted this back left hand one, I guess you could call it, till this was square with the torch mount. Okay, then I snugged this one so it just had just a tiny bit of friction on it. Then I backed this one back off and did the same thing, just to make sure that there's not a lot of extra pressure on the tube. And then I did the same thing on the bottom ones. I put the square on here and I just tightened them so that there's just a little bit of friction on there, so there's not a ton of movement. but it stayed nice and square. And now there's no more play in my Z-trolley, but there's a little bit of give on all the bearings, which is what you want, so you don't tighten them too much. Bring you guys in here and show you kind of what I mean with the machine torch and how easy it is to get off if you watch. So this part's all squared back up. Now watch. But we'll re-square this a little bit and get it as close as we can, and it's probably going to be as good as it's going to get. Alright, so we went and got the program all set up. It's going back to return. Squared the plate we're going to use for these bottle openers. We are going to run a test just to make sure that everything looks okay there. And start cutting these bad boys out. Alright guys, just to show you kind of my bottle openers here, I didn't film the powder coating process, but basically we go through something like this that's been all cleaned up, edges rounded and everything, and then I'll powder coat them so they come out with whatever color I'm powder coating. So I think this is a black bronze powder coat, and basically powder coat's pretty easy. You just electrically charge the pigment onto the metal product, and then you bake it in an oven and it cures and hardens, and it's really tough coating. It's kind of cool stuff. But then after that I'll take this handle and I wrap it, and after that the bottle openers are finished. But I'll go show you a finished bottle opener, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, just to show you kind of the finished bottle opener. Here's one style, here's another style. This is like a blue color with a black wrapped handle. This is a black bronze with a purple wrapped handle. And yeah, that's how they turn out. Kind of cool. I also make these little guys. These are T-chain ones. They're just roughed like this and left like it so that the cost is lower. But yeah. Either way, these are all sitting on my Etsy if you guys for some reason would want one of these. I'm always trying to improve the design of them so that they work better or whatever too, and so any feedback would be a bonus. I'll link my Etsy down in the description here, but not a ton of like description on how I go through the process of making these or anything. If you guys would like more in-depth videos of my builds and stuff like that, let me know. It is just me out here filming and doing everything, all the editing and everything, so sometimes I just get in this stride of trying to get the project done and I don't film as much as I should. But hey, thanks for watching guys, and if you like the channel and some of the stuff, I'm hopefully going to be starting to post a little more now that it's starting to cool back down outside. It's raining currently, so that's been pretty nice for today. But let me know. Have a good one.